Bayan, ngayong umaga ay muli po nating balikan ang mayabong na kasaysayan po ng Pilipinas na itinataguyod po ng mga programa ng isang kilalang commercial banking company dito po sa ating bansa.
Dayan, para pag-usapan yan, makapanayan po natin ang First Vice President at ang Head ng Marketing and Communications Division ng Philippine Veterans Bank. So welcome Mr. Mike Villarreal.
Good morning, Sir Mike. Thank you for joining us. Alright, bilang panimula po, Sir Mike, tell us more about the Philippine Veterans Bank.
Well, yung Philippine Veterans Bank is actually unique, ano? Kasi ang pag-aari po nito is the 385,000 Filipino World War II veterans. Okay. So that's why it's considered a private bank kasi all the veterans, 385,000 of them, are the stockholders of the bank. Okay. Since there are only about 5,000 left, most of the stockholders are already yung second or third generation. So kagaya ko, ako ay apo ng veterano, third generation na po ako. And yun nga, ang purpose ng bangko is supposed to be to contribute to the welfare of the veterans and their families.
Okay.
So ito po yung mga binibigay, every year nagbibigay yung bangko ng 20% ng net income nito. So dalawang programa, yung mga healthcare ng mga veterano.
Okay.
And then meron isa pa yung museum where there's a Taguig Board of Trustees for the Veterans of World War II Museum. Doon naman, it's a museum focused on World War II lang. So parang gusto ng veterano, matulungan sila, and then sa health needs nila, and the same time, preserve yung mga kwento nila nung World War II.
Okay.
So, and then of course, as a private commercial bank, we offer the same services. Hindi lang kami pang veterano, yun kasi yung common misconception.
Okay.
We serve everybody, and we're also a government depository bank.
Okay. So anong specific po na services yung naibibigay natin sa mga veterans natin ngayon po?
As of now, yun nga, una we have yung pension ng gobyerno papunta sa kanila. So that's one, kami isa sa mga servicing bank. Second is kahit na may edad na sila, binibigyan pa rin natin ng loan kasi may mga kailangan sila versus let's say yung pension loan nila. And of course, yung na-mention ko kanina, yung tinatawag natin contribution nila dun sa 20%, dun sa kanilang outpatient clinic, saka dun sa preservation ng kanilang museum.
Okay. One very significant program ninyo sa Philippine Veterans Bank, itong isinasagawa nyo na for the past 5 years, ang Freedom
Yes,
Run.
yeah.
Tell us about that, Sir Mike.
Ang inspiration po nito nag-start, actually more than 5 years ago. In the US, they have what they call the Bataan Memorial Death March in New Mexico. For the past 25 years, they commemorate the Bataan Death March.
Wow.
And that's 8,000 people last year, 8,000 people around the world go there to run or march for the veterans, Filipino and American veterans who were part of the Death March. Nung nalaman ko po yung 10 years ago, medyo nahiya ako sa Pilipino kasi sa Amerika, ginagawa po nila yun.
Dito, wala.
Pero tayo wala. So yun po yung naging parang reason kung bakit po ako naisipan. And sinuportahan naman po ako ng aming board. So ang nangyari po is we started with a run 5 years ago, which this year will happen on April 14.
Okay.
And then we started 2 years ago with a new twist to it. It's called the Freedom Trail. Okay. This one, it traces the actual route of the Death March.
Wow.
So
ilang kilometers in
140 kilometers.
Wow.
But it's you don't have to do the entire thing.
Yes.
You can do it as a group of 8 or 16, 10 kilometers kayo. Or ang recommendation ko is just join the last 5 to 7 kilometers. Kasi yun yung highlight eh. It's a 2-day march actually. And then it ends in Capas, Capas National Shrine in Tarlac.
Yes.
It starts in Mariveles, Bataan. Kilometer 0, tawag nila doon kilometer 0 kasi doon nag-start yung Death March. Up to kilometer 140 doon sa Capas National Shrine. The Capas National Shrine was the area where they had, doon talaga ginawang concentration camp ng mga prisoners of war from the Battle of Bataan. So yun yung ending. Maganda po yan. It's a big national shrine and there's a big obelisk there. And there's a field that memorializes all the names of those who joined the Death March.
Okay.
So yung maganda, it's an ending. Of course, partners namin dito ang Department of National Defense, Philippine Veterans Affairs Office, and the provincial governments of Bataan, Pampanga, and Tarlac.
Sir, anong special this year para sa mga sasali sa Freedom Run this 2019?
Yung sa Freedom Run, yung Freedom Run, di ko nakwento pala, sorry. It starts at Balanga City. For the full marathon, you go up to Mount Samat, and then back down. That's the full marathon, 42 kilometers. We have the half marathon and so on. But yung what's new for this year is the Freedom Trail. We will be joined by US troops. And it's exciting for me because yung Death March, about 10,000 Americans and about 70,000 Filipinos yung part ng Death March. So for the first time in 77 years, they will again be marching. This time under a democratic regime. And also at the same time, it's gonna be under a spirit of camaraderie between the two nations, and of course yung joint history natin, and of course yung sa akin kasi yung awareness parang yung mga tao kasi they think na bakit natin kino-commemorate yung pagkatalo natin. To me, that the question, people ask that question because they don't understand the background. So if people understood the background, then they would understand why we have to commemorate the Battle of Fort Bataan.
Okay, why do we have to commemorate that, Sir Mike?
Number one, the timeline of Japan invaded December 1941. The timeline was in 50 days, dapat na take over na ng Japan yung buong Pilipinas. All the other nations around us, Malaya, Indonesia, Vietnam, surrendered within days. It was only the Philippines that resisted more than 50 days. In fact, all the way to April in Bataan and May in Corregidor. Number two, we were actually winning until January because the reason why we fold all the troops of the Philippines folded into Bataan, that was the instruction, defend Bataan at all costs. So all the troops from Mindanao to Luzon went to Bataan to defend that peninsula. The idea was that, sabi ni MacArthur, may darating na reinforcements. Hintayin nyo lang, hold out as long as you can at Bataan.
Okay.
So yun yung instructions. It never came. Why? Because Pearl Harbor happened.
Yeah.
But the Filipinos still held on, and with of course our Americans. No? But I think that's something we should be proud of. All our other neighbors, just surrendered. In fact, if I went to Singapore, I visited their museum. They surrendered because they only had a few more days left of food. Samantala in Bataan, wala na tayong food, but our boys still fought on, without medicine. Halos wala nang weapons, pero our ammunition, but they still fought on. Why? They believed in a free Philippines. Ang sa akin, yun yung gusto kong makita ng mga tao ngayon. And it's something we should be proud of. Natalo natin yung people, the countries around us. And at the same time, we were the only ones who really resisted Japan.
Okay.
That was the reason why General Homa, the commander of the Japanese invasion force, was replaced by Yamashita. Because napahiya siya sa nangyari.
Kasi nanindigan yung mga sundalo nun.
Yes, so that's why si Yamashita yung pumalit. Si Yamashita in charge sa Malaysia. Dahil nasira si Homa, General Homa, he was replaced because of that so-called defeat. However, at the end because wala nga dumating reinforcements, our boys had to give in eventually.
That's very interesting. No? Pero during the Freedom Run, may mga spots ba doon na pwedeng matuto yung mga runners natin?
Yes, that's a good question. Yeah, we have reenactors, we have historians along the way who will be there. They'll be wearing period costumes, Philippine Scouts.
Parang very experiential itong nangyayari.
So, may ganun. Actually, sila yung pinakasikat doon. Kasi marami nagipag-selfie sa mga mga reenactors. And there will be some people who will be talking about what happened here, this part, what happened in this part, so and so on. So you're right. It's experiential. That's what we wanted to do. It's not just for the sake of doing it, but also they learn something about their country in the process.
So, parang hindi ka lang talaga magra-run, hindi ka lang magte-train, matututo ka pa ng kasaysayan.
Okay na throwback, diba?
Magkano ang fee dito? How do they register?
We have a Facebook page for both events. The Freedom Trail has a Facebook page as well as the Bataan Freedom Run. Sorry, I don't memorize the fees, but it's there in the Facebook pages. You can just visit and go there.
Ayan, nakikita nyo sa ating screens yung ilang schedules and also some details para po sa gagawing Freedom Run and Freedom Trail. I hope you can participate in this important activity na ito kasi hindi lang ito basta run or trail. You'll learn about the history.
Meron po bang mga special packages for third generation veterans?
Wala tayong package. To me it's the experience lang. I felt that it was not. We should do something. When they started this in the U.S., hindi na sa US, there are other parts also in the world that celebrate Bataan. Tapos tayo.
Pretty new, no?
Yeah, so that was why yun yung nag-joke sa atin. But there are not really special packages. But I think it's the experience. What's interesting is each year may na-discover kaming bagong battle site or bagong memorial or bagong ruins for ng Bataan. So we bring the people there so para makita nila what is being discovered in Bataan.
All right, thank you very much for joining us
Thank you
today,
so much for
Sir
having
Mike.
me.
At we wish you all the best sa gagawin ninyong activity na ito. Sana maraming sumali.
Thank you po. Thank you
Sumali
po.
rin kasi lolo ko sa Death March noon.
Talaga?
Third generation din kami. So yeah, punta kami April 14.
Yes, so April sa Balanga City.
Alright, thank you so much. Muli po
Thank you.
nakapanayam natin ang Head ng Marketing and Communications Division and also the First Vice President ng Philippine Veterans Bank, Mr. Mike Villarreal. Thank you so much.